There's really a lot of length here. This is either a really good mid-range wine or it's an expensive one. My name's Matthew Horkey. For the last 6 years, I've been traveling around the world, tasting thousands of wines per year in search of the most unique, exciting, and expensive bottles on the planet. But today, I'm blind tasting cheap versus mid-range versus expensive Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir is one of the most famous, most enjoyable red wine grapes in the world. It got a lot of attention in the US, especially thanks to the little film called Sideways.
I am not drinking any fucking Merlot!
It's high in acid, makes your mouth water. The tannins usually are not so high. You know, the things that make your mouth feel astringent. It's also just a very pretty wine. When it's done really well, it can have some floral notes, some perfume notes, more strawberries, raspberries. It has this nice silky mouthfeel, has this nice sweet fruit without being an actual sweet wine. Pinot Noir is an ancient variety, comes from Burgundy in France. It creates some of the most sought after, some of the most expensive, and some of the most ethereal wines on the planet. For instance, the DRC, Domaine de la Romanée-Conti, goes for 5 figures a bottle, if you can even find it. Winemakers always chase wanting to make a great Pinot Noir. It is a fickle grape, though. Not everybody can work with it. It only does really well at a few select places around the world. Outside of France, some of my favorite regions in the world for Pinot Noir are the oceanic regions, Australia, New Zealand, doing some good stuff. I've tasted some nice stuff from Chile, actually, in recent years. California, although I prefer Santa Barbara County. You also have some beautiful ones made in Oregon. And then on top of that, German Pinot Noir, which I absolutely love. I actually wrote an article about German Pinot Noir, and it's linked in the Wikipedia Pinot Noir page. Cheap thrills. I love Pinot Noir when it's done well. I'm disappointed quite a bit, though. That's the only problem. I think blind tasting cheap versus expensive Pinot Noir is the most difficult out of any red wine grape, because usually in red wines, I'm looking for more concentration. The more concentration, sometimes the more wood, that means the wine is a little bit more expensive. However, Pinot Noir is a little bit more delicate. If it does become too jammy, too concentrated, it can feel quite fat in the mouth. Think about an overripe banana. On the flip side of this, especially Pinot Noir, if you have too much oak on it, it can just really overpower the wine. It doesn't taste very good. The thing with Pinot Noir, when you're tasting it, it's not all enjoyment. It's really thinking. You have to think about it. I've got 5 Pinot Noirs here from all over the world. I've got 1 cheap wine, 1 expensive wine, and 3 mid-range ones just to throw me off a little bit. I'm going to see if I can spot all of them. I'm a little bit nervous, but let's see. For blind tasting, I'm using these glasses. These are the best inexpensive wine glasses I've used. I found these on Amazon. These are Rovsya. These are burgundy glasses, but I've found them to be quite versatile. I'll drop a link in the description below. Let's get it. First of all, wine number 1, very stereotypical Pinot Noir. What I would expect for a Pinot Noir to smell like. What I mean by that, there's some nice raspberry flavors. There's cherry in this. Usually for Pinot Noir, I like more on the lighter red fruit side, strawberry, raspberry. This has some cherry in it. Just like a hint of mocha, not too much wood, but it's a hint of mocha. This doesn't have a lot of fall leaves type of flavor, which I like to see in Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir has some earthiness, mushroom type notes a lot of the time. This has got decent length, pretty nice wine. I don't think it's the most expensive Pinot Noir, but it's a good start. Wine number 2. Wine number 2 is when we're starting to get into what I think of is Pinot Noir. It's got a lot of leather, sour cherry, red raspberry type flavors. Earth, it's a really complex wine. There's really a lot of length here. This is either a really good mid-range wine or it's an expensive one. Just tastes really good. When it comes to finer Pinot Noirs, they have more complexity to speak. A little more fruit, but not too jammy or not too big, not too ripe. Just a little bit more fruit. The fruit's just a touch more riper, and then you have all these subtle complexities in. That's what I'm looking for when it comes to great Pinot Noir. None of these wines I can cheat on because the color is all pretty similar. You've got a lighter red type of color, a little bit of bluing on the edges, so I can't really cheat here. And these are all recent vintages. That's again why I think it's going to be difficult. Great Pinot Noir starts to gain complexity. Get some of these leather notes, mushroom notes with time. Let's give it a look here. Wine 3 at first to me smells a little bit chemically, so I might think this is the cheap wine. It smells like Pinot Noir. You still have the light red fruit type flavors. It's starting to smell pretty decent. Let's see here. Wow, if that is the cheap Pinot Noir, it's actually a pretty good Pinot Noir. I'm surprised because it's actually starting to smell a little bit better in the glass. Man, this is going to be tough. I hope I don't botch all these. Wine number 4. Wine 4, it's just, nothing really stands out. It's just red fruit. It's earth. Got a lot of balance. It's not as concentrated. It's a little more stretched out. Has a little bit more acid. Makes my mouth water. And this is difficult. Let me try this again. Blind tasting's tough. Wine 5 has some more earth type notes. It's more leathery, so to speak. A little bit darker fruits. Wine 5 is not going to be everybody's jam. It's got a lot of complexity. I have a hard time deciding which one I think is the most expensive, wine 5 or wine 2. This is tough. Let's go back a little. Oh. That's why Pinot Noir is so difficult. You have to go back and check again. There's so many subtleties, but I'm ready for the reveal. I know what all these wines are. Somebody put these in a random order, so I don't know at all. I'm hoping I get this right. I'm just going to go in order, what I thought. Wine number 1. This is why tasting is so difficult. At first, this tricked me because I thought, oh, the wine's pretty decent. And then when I went back and retasted it, the wine fell apart in the glass, so I'm pretty darn sure that wine number 1 is the cheap wine. And I am right. I am right. This is the Lindeman's Bin 99 Elegant Pinot Noir 2020. This was $4 from southeastern Australia. I mean, there is a lot of good Pinot Noir in Australia. I really like what's coming out of Yarra, the Macedon Ranges, Mornington Peninsula, a lot of other stuff. But I'm glad I got this right because I was gonna hate myself if I got this wrong. That's why you gotta retaste. Wine's always changing. Okay, so. Wine number 2. I really like this wine a lot. I went back and forth to see if it was the most expensive or not. That's how good I thought. But in the end, I thought it was a mid-range priced wine. So let's take a look here and see. I think this is a good one. This is very good. This is the Appoloni Pinot Noir 2018. $26. 2018 from Oregon. This is from the Willamette Valley, really hot area for Pinot Noir. Is the next Burgundy. Had a lot of complexities. I thought this was a heck of a wine at this price because, like I said, I went back and forth thinking wine number 2 or wine 5 was the most expensive. So this is a small producer. Big ups to them. I've never tasted their wines before. Big shout out to them. This is $26. Go seek that out. Wow. Wine 3 I thought was also mid-range. I thought it was also very, very, very nice wine. Out of the mid-range, this is something I'd highly recommend. This is the Chehalem Pinot Noir from Willamette Valley 2019. $25. This is really, really good stuff. Highly recommend. Good Pinot Noir. Good stuff. Okay, wine 4. Wine 4 stood out amongst all these wines because it had a little more acidity, a little bit more leanness. It was a very pretty wine. It was a little bit more juicy, make your mouth water a little bit. And let's see here. Yeah, this is the Villa Maria Pinot Noir Reserve Marlborough from 2019. This is from New Zealand. This is $24. I think this is very good. Really surprised for I actually think Central Otago in New Zealand gets all the hype for Pinot Noir. I actually think Marlborough, Canterbury, Martinborough, those are the Pinot Noirs that have gotten me excited. Marlborough is actually known more for Sauvignon Blanc, so a good buy at $24 if you want to experience something a little bit different. Different than these. I think this was the fruitiest out of them. I mean, I'm not counting the cheap one. Okay, so that means I got it right. The most expensive one. And the reason I thought it was most expensive is just all mouthfeel. Just complete mouthfeel, complexity, not the fruitiest. Not the fruitiest, more leathery. And this is the Hamilton Russell Pinot Noir Walker Bay from South Africa, 2019. I think this is the first vintage where they actually had to buy some fruit because they had wildfires. This is one of my favorite producers in the new world of Pinot Noir. I'm glad this showed well. $50. So it's a little more expensive, but man, is this good wine. So there you have it. I'm glad to see that I got that right. what really impressed me, I think, was the Appoloni. I thought this was very, very good, 26 bucks. My favorite was the Hamilton Russell Pinot Noir. So one thing that I saw here, you can find a lot of value in Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir tends to be a little bit more expensive because it's in demand, but there is value to be had. As you saw, some of these wines in the mid $20 range. Even the $4 wine fooled me at first. I'm glad I was able to pick it up. I'm glad I went back and retasted it. Tell me, do you have a favorite region for Pinot Noir? What do you think about price and quality in Pinot Noir? I'd love to know, and I'll see you soon.